Hello everyone, I'm Ms.bzhar. I'm science teacher of grade 7 in Lezan Basic School. Today I'm going to explain for you physical property and chemical property. What's a physical property mean? Physical property can be observed or measured without changing the matter's identity. Without changing the matter's identity. For example, physical property like color. How many physical property we have? Colors, odors. For example, this apple have a physical property. The color of this apple's red color is what? Is the physical property, is a color, is a physical property. And mass and volume also is a physical property. Many examples we have, for example, magnetism and the ability to conduct electricity current is a physical property. What's a physical change? What's a physical change? Physical change meaning changing of matter from one form to another form without changing in chemical texture, without changes in chemical. For example, when you cut this paper, this changes physically, not chemically, because we can fix we can fix this paper, we can fix this paper, or cutting this apple. Cutting this apple is changing changing in physical. So that's all about physical. What's a chemical property? Chemical property cannot be observed easily. Not be observed easily. The matter change in chemical property, chemical change, the matter change entirely to a new substances. A new matter will form. In chemical change, the matter change to another matter and new matter formed. That's entirely different from the matter that in the base we have. So we say this is chemical properties and this is physical properties. Many examples about chemical property we have. For example, flaming, ability of flaming, non-flaming, and reactivity. What's the mean of the reactivity? What's the mean of the reactivity? Mean is the ability of substance, or the ability of two or more substances to combine and form one or more substance that is different from the substance that we have before. Okay? Reactivity means what? Means the ability of substance of two matters, two substances or more to combine and form a new substance. This new substance differs from the other substances that we have in the phase. So, now, after that, we have density. What's a density? Density is the amount of mass in a given volume. It's the amount of mass in a given volume. We can find density by dividing mass per volume. We have three units. We have three units of what? Of density. Gram per mole, gram per cubic centimeter, and kilogram per cubic meter. In this, we have this question to find the density. The question is, what is the density of an object whose mass is 25 grams and whose volume is 10 cubic centimeter? Now, we have this equation. We must write the equation. Density is equal to mass per volume. So, we have the mass. The mass is what? Is 25 grams. Now, write the number of mass. 25 grams. And the volume that we have is 10 cubic centimeter. Write the number of volume. So, the density is equal to 2.5 gram per cubic centimeters. Now, we can find the density by this equation. It's very easy. And we have the difference between physical property and chemical property. What is the difference between physical and chemical property? Physical property can be observed without changing the matter's identity. Can be observed without changing the matter's identity. Chemical property not easily observed. not easily observed, and changes the substances into something new. The new substance will form in the chemical properties. So, in physical property, no reaction take place. In physical property, no reaction take place, but in chemical property, reaction will take place. Reaction take place. An example for physical property, we have an example about physical property. For example, bending of nail, iron nail. Bending of iron nail is an example of physical property. And we have many examples about physical property. For example, we said cutting of a paper is an example of physical property. Or chemical property, an example for a chemical property is the reaction of the iron with the oxygen forms what? Form iron oxide, that we call it rust. That we call it rust. The formation of rust is the formation of rust is what? Is the chemical change, chemical properties. So, what is the characteristic property? This is a property that we can observe in a matter. By this property, we can identify the matter. For example, how we can identify this apple by its color. This is the color is the what? Is the characteristic property. Okay? So, what's the sign of chemical change? What is the sign of chemical change? When chemical change occurs, many signs will appear. For example, when the lactic acid is changed to acetic acid in milk, the bad odor, we can smell the bad odor. So, the odor is the signs of chemical change. For example, and formation of rust. Rust is the sign of what? The rust is the sign of chemical change. Okay, now I'm going to explain for you also about a density. About a density. If we put seven type of liquid into a cylinder, 7 layer formed. Why 7 layer formed? Because these liquids are different from each other in density. The liquid that has high density remain at the bottom, but the liquid that has low density rise up to the top. So the differentiation between this liquid in density made them what? Made the formation of 7 layers. Okay, that's all for today. I hope you understand me. Have a nice day. Goodbye.